Live every day as if it were the last, because before you know it, time goes past and life's just not that long. Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow on by. Sing songs of love, let the music.
I enjoy dancing up a storm to beautiful music. I enjoy deep, personal, heart-to-heart conversations. I enjoy gardening, growing food and flowers. I enjoy hugging men and women of all ages, all colors, people who want warm hugs with me. I enjoy sunbathing naked for hours on cool days in our backyard when there are no clouds and no wind. I enjoy speaking clearly from my heart on many concerns, as I do on this program. I enjoy constantly collecting wisdom from everyone that I meet, from books, articles, on how to live, how not to live, in order to live that wisdom and to pass it on to anyone interested. I enjoy keeping my eyes and my heart open to meet men I'm strongly attracted to. I enjoy making new friends, men and women of all ages, all colors. I enjoy reading articles and books on living and eating healthy. I enjoy making love, giving and receiving pleasure with men I'm attracted to and who are attracted to me. I want to be as lean, healthy, sexy as possible as long as I live, even if I would never again have affectionate hot sex with any men. I've never owned a television in Albuquerque since I first moved here 52 years ago. Back on our Illinois farm when I was a teenager, I foolishly wasted many precious hours, addicted to many violent TV programs. Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, Wyatt Earp, The Lone Ranger, Have Gun Will Travel, Zorro. I foolishly wasted many precious hours watching damn guns and violence. And this is one of the many things I would want to change if I had my life to live over, knowing what I know now. I woke up. I stopped watching that violent crap. I changed. Now I would not watch those programs if I were paid thousands of dollars. Why poison my mind? Why waste my time? Over the long run, most refugees, most asylum seekers coming to the United States from other nations pay more in taxes here than they receive in government benefits. Many of the refugees and asylum seekers come to the United States with little or no money, but they want to find jobs. They want to work. Medical treatment is the third leading cause of death in the United States. The third leading cause of death in the United States, medical treatment. Thousands die every year in the U.S. from medications given as prescribed in hospitals. Thousands die every year in the United States from receiving the wrong medication by mistake. We all make mistakes. many mistakes. Thousands die every year in the United States from other hospital mistakes. Thousands die every year in the United States from infections these people got as hospital patients, or from surgeries that were not needed. And that was very close to happening to my own mother back in 1975. A surgery not needed that could have killed her. So do your damnedest to eat and live healthy every day, to avoid going to any hospital or any medical treatment, if possible. And even if my medical insurance paid every penny of my hospital and doctor bill, I aim not to go to any doctor or any hospital, if possible, the rest of my life. But I can never say for sure. Smart scientists spend years researching to find new drugs to prevent and treat cancer, COVID, many other diseases. Sadly, most of these smart scientists know little or nothing about the marvelous healing powers of garlic, ginger, many other herbs. Sadly, most of these smart scientists know little or nothing about the marvelous healing power of sunshine and of piss drinking used in many cultures for hundreds and hundreds of years, even thousands of years. Follow the money. Follow the money. Garlic, ginger, many other healing herbs, sunshine, piss drinking will not make billions of dollars for the drug-pushing companies. Follow the money. And stop eating all sugar shit and other junk food that sets people up for COVID, cancer, many other infections. I love to see the shape of certain lean men's asses when they wear pants that fit their asses snugly, and better yet, to see their asses naked. On the other hand, I know it can feel sexy to a man when his pants are part way off his ass. It can feel like he's ready at any moment to strip naked and get it on in sex. I love this poem. I do not know the author. If you're ever going to love me now, while I can know the sweet and tender feelings which from true affection flow. Love me now, while I'm living. Do not wait until I'm gone, and then have it chiseled in marble, sweet words on ice-cold stone. If you have tender thoughts of me, please tell me now. If you wait until I'm sleeping, never to awaken, there will be death between us, and I won't hear you then. So, if you love me, even a little bit, let me know while I'm living so I can treasure it. Undocumented immigrants are less likely than U.S. citizens, less likely than legal immigrants to commit crimes. People born in the United States are much more likely to be arrested for violent crimes, for drug crimes, for property crimes than undocumented immigrants. You ever hear anyone say that on TV or radio? The U.S. Public Health Service in 1932 did a secret study on almost 400 black men. And most of these 400 black men were poor, undereducated, farmers. The U.S. Public Health Service recruited these black men to watch them suffer for 40 years from the venereal disease syphilis. Syphilis can cause paralysis, blindness, deafness, dementia, heart trouble, brain damage, and death. And this evil study in 1932, 90 years ago, by the U.S. Public Health Service is one reason many black people do not trust white doctors. This evil study was called the Tuskegee experiment. And other reasons that many black people do not trust white doctors. Enslaved black women suffered experiments on their vaginas by white doctors. White grave robbers stole black bodies to use in medical schools. White doctors sterilized black women so they could not have children. Some white doctors thought black people feel less pain than whites. Many strong reasons that many black people still to this day do not trust white doctors. Cow's milk, cheese, and ice cream can cause or worsen heart disease, cancer, arthritis, migraine headaches, ear infections, colds, hay fever, asthma, allergies, respiratory, and many other problems. Cow's milk is different from human milk. Cow's milk has much more casein, which can make cancer grow faster at all stages of the cancer. I drink no cow's milk. I eat no cheese. I eat no ice cream. A woman wrote this wonderful letter. I was a faithful wife for 26 years. My husband made love the way he did everything else, mechanically, without attempting to invest himself in the process and expending as little energy as possible to get the job done. And this is also the way he played the role of son, husband, father, and employee. And after we parted, she says, I met someone else. He approached making love the way he approached life, with joy and enthusiasm. He was caring, generous, inventive. Over and above his own physical gratification, he wanted to give me the greatest pleasure possible. If I had not met that man, I would have died without knowing what good sex was. What a powerful testimony from a woman. While 19-year-old Tariq Kamisa was delivering pizza on a cool San Diego night in January of 1995, a 14-year-old black gang member, Tony Hicks, shot and killed Tariq. And after much deep thought, Tariq's father, Azim, reached out to the family of the young man who had killed Azim's son. Azim embraced the boy's grandfather, plus Felix, and asked the grandfather to join forces against youth violence. And the two men became as close as brothers. The man whose son was killed and the grandfather of the young fellow who killed that son. And out of that remarkable union was born the Tariq Khamisa Foundation, whose mission is to stop children from killing children, to break the escalating cycle of youth violence, to plant seeds of hope for our children's future. The Tariq Khamisa Foundation award-winning programs in San Diego schools use the power of forgiveness, love, and peace to empower kids and teach them that they have the ability and the responsibility to choose nonviolent solutions to problems. Azim, the father of the 19-year-old Tariq that was killed, said, "From the onset, I saw victims on both ends of the gun. My son Tariq, a victim of his assailant, that assailant, Tony, a victim of society. A society that you and I helped create and must take responsibility for. I, therefore, take my share," says the father of the killed young man. "I take my share of responsibility for the bullet that took my son's life, and so should every caring American." And Azim said that 5 years after his son had been murdered, when he visited Hicks in prison, he visited the young man who had killed his own son, and when he visited him in prison, Azim, the father of 19-year-old Tariq, who was killed, said, "I could see that my forgiveness of him also had transformed him. Quite frankly, when I looked deeply in his eyes, I did not see a murderer. I saw another soul just like me." Many years ago, a gay friend visited me on our farm in Illinois. He wanted to have sex with me. He tried so hard to please me sexually and to turn me on, but I was not attracted to him sexually. I hope I always remember that experience, so I do not pester or pressure any friend for sex if he is not attracted to me sexually. To feel pressured by a friend to have sex if I'm not turned on by him does not feel good. The universe is far larger than any of us can imagine. Most of space in the universe is very cold, very dark, very lonely, except for the tiny points of light from millions of distant stars and galaxies. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second, not 186,000 miles per hour, not 186,000 miles per minute, Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. Our sun is a medium-sized star, 93 million miles from Earth. The sunshine we see left the sun 8 minutes before we see it. The light from some distant stars left those stars thousands of years ago, millions of years ago. So except for our sun, the next closest star is 4 light years away. So just pretend if all the stars except for our sun suddenly disappeared. Just pretend. We would not know it for at least 4 years, and for most stars, we would not know it for hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years. When we look at the stars in the night sky, we see the past. We see history, even if we think we see now. Very humbling for us on our tiny speck in this massive universe, our Mother Earth. And pretend a ball could circle the Earth just high enough not to hit any buildings, any mountains. If that ball could travel at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second, the ball could circle the whole Earth, which is about 26,000 miles, could circle the whole Earth about 7 times in 1 second. Not in 1 minute, not in 1 hour, about 7 times in 1 second, a ball circling the Earth at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Many stars have planets, but we know for sure of no other planet in this universe that has life like our Earth. The worst place on Earth for humans to live is far better than the best place on any of our sun's other planets. Earth is our only home. Why trash it? And even though we don't feel it, we're traveling very fast through space. The Earth is turning, causing night and day. The Earth is going around the sun once a year. The Earth is traveling with our sun and other planets in our galaxy of stars. And our galaxy, this huge group of stars, and there are thousands, maybe millions of galaxies in the universe. I have no idea. Our galaxy is moving through the universe. So why trash our precious home, Mother Earth? Our only home, our Mother Earth. The climate crisis threatens life as we know it for plants, animals, and for us, human beings. People living in huge, clean mansions and traveling thousands of miles by car or plane for business or for vacations. Those people are trashing our Mother Earth far more than homeless people with shopping carts and heaps of trash. Black Elk, a Native American Lakota elder, said, "My people are dying of guns. When the white man came here, we had no guns. He brought the guns to us. He taught us to kill with guns. He teaches our young men in the army to kill with his guns. And yet the white man says, 'Let there be peace on earth.'" Every Christmas, he says that. Let there be peace on earth, while he goes everywhere on earth and he kills people. On Sunday, the white man goes to church and he prays, and on Monday he goes to work and he makes bullets with the same hands he prayed with on Sunday. If the white man wants peace on earth, let him stop making his bullets. Let him stop making shotguns. Let him stop making M1 carbines and worse, guns. Then maybe we may have peace. In the old days, a so-called good Indian did not say anything about these things. He would be silent. He was a good Indian because he did not go where he wasn't wanted. He did not say anything the white man did not want to hear. But Black Elk says, "I will not be silent. I will not be silent. My people are dying. My Lakota people are dying. My Oglala people are dying. And I will not be silent anymore. So I tell the white man he is wrong. He's going in the wrong direction. He will be dying too." From Black Elder, Native American Lakota elder, Black Elk, Native American Lakota elder. If a person rich in money and a person poor in money fall in love, often problems come because of the big difference in money. The person rich in money can wonder, would this other person want me if I did not have all this money and stuff? And the person poor in money can wonder, would I be so attracted to this other person if he or she were not rich in money? So, am I a gold digger? Am I a leech? Is this person rich in money trying to buy my love? Is this person rich in money trying to make sure I will not leave him or her? I enjoy living simply below the U.S. poverty level. And if I'm in love with men who have much more money and stuff than I do, they need never wonder if I'm after their money and stuff. Hell no. If Putin continues his evil war against Ukraine, millions of people worldwide may hate and fear the Russian government as much as they hate and fear the U.S. government for many U.S. damn wars. One of my most painful, hazy early childhood memories make me especially aware of how violent I or anyone can be. I guess I was about 5 years old. I was in a temper tantrum there on the farm in Illinois. I went to the pantry of our home. I got the large butcher knife to frighten, threaten, or hurt my mother. And I'm glad my mother did not curse me. I'm glad my mother did not spank me. I'm glad my mother did not beat me afterward, but I wish she had taken my rage more seriously. I wish she had held me firmly in her arms, assuring me of her love for me and her understanding my anger, while at the same time controlling my violent impulse, holding me tight until my rage passed, whether for 15 minutes or 3 hours, not hitting me and not allowing me to hit her. And maybe she did some of this. I don't remember clearly. But one of our worst fears is not being able to control our violent impulses, especially toward our closest loved ones. And this memory has haunted me, hounded me, humbled me through the years, over 70 years. And none of us is immune to killing someone, even a long-time loved one, in a moment of insane rage. If anyone could have told Judge Gerald Cole, a white man, years ago in his Albuquerque courtroom, that he would kill his wife and himself on August 13, 2005, how could he have believed it? We all are capable of terrifying violence. And because I know that about myself, and because I aim to live nonviolently toward all people, I refuse to own a gun. I refuse to drink any booze. I condemn glamorized murder, rape, jealousy, revenge, addiction to money, unnecessary possessions, and war in many movies, many books, many songs, many TV programs, many violent video games. Why poison our minds with violence? I refuse to make it easier for me to commit the violence I hate. If you go to medical doctors, or if you are ever diagnosed with cancer or any other life-threatening disease, ask your medical doctor these 3 questions. Number 1, approximately how long do you think I have to live if I follow all your advice? Number 2, approximately how long do you think I have to live if I do nothing at all? 3, what are all the side effects if I follow your advice? Insist that your medical doctor write down for you the answers to all 3 questions. Insist that he or she sign it and date it and give it to you. Those 3 questions again. Approximately how long do you think I have to live if I follow all your advice? 2, approximately how long do you think I have to live if I do nothing at all? 3, what are all the side effects if I follow your advice? And if your doctor refuses to put his or her answers to those questions in writing, immediately stop going to that doctor. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your health. Now, at age 77, I'm in better health in some ways, not in all, but in some ways, than I was at 21. Every day, I practice strong health discipline to prevent and heal disease naturally. A woman wrote, "My mother-in-law was a very heavy smoker. She appeared to be in fairly good health until she passed 70. And one morning she got out of bed, could barely stand up because of a pain. She said it was like walking on broken glass. A diagnosis by her doctor showed the arteries in both her legs were blocked. He said in all the years of his medical career, he had never seen such diseased arteries. He recommended bypass surgery at once, but she refused. She then moved in with my husband and me," says this woman, "and it was apparent that she was in pain 24 hours a day. And one evening while soaking her feet, I noticed gangrene had set in. The doctor hospitalized her the following day. Her right leg was amputated below the knee. It was a horrible experience for the family and painful for her. 1 month later, the doctors took the rest of that leg, and 2 months after that, the same problem surfaced with her left leg. Another amputation followed. That dear woman lived for 4 years in a nursing home, miserable the whole time. She lost not only both legs, but her independence, her dignity, her ability to live a normal life. Don't smoke." A poem to my grown-up son by Alice E. Chase. She says, "My hands were busy through the day. I did not have much time to play the little games you asked me to. I did not have much time for you. I'd wash your clothes, I'd sew, I'd cook. But when you bring your picture book and ask me, please, to share your fun, I'd say, a little later, son. I'd tuck you in all safe at night and hear your prayers, turn out the light, and then tiptoe softly to the door. I wish I had stayed a minute more. For life is short. Years rush past. A little boy grows up so fast. No longer is he at your side, his precious secrets to confide. The picture books are put away. There are no children's games to play. No goodnight kiss, no prayers to hear. And that all belongs to yesteryear. My hands, once busy, now lie still. The days are long, hard to fill. I wish I might go back and do the little things you asked me to. In 1976, my grandparents were shot, killed by a severely disturbed 18-year-old white man. And afterwards, some of us family went to the funeral home to pick out their coffins. An older man who worked for the funeral home said, "Here is one with an innerspring mattress." And maybe he had no idea how insane, how wrong what he said was. Why should any person on earth have an innerspring mattress for their decaying dead body when millions of living children lie homeless on the ground, sick, cold, hungry. U.S. President Harry Truman lied to the nation and the world when he said Hiroshima, which he had just devastated by an atomic bomb, was an important Japanese army base. The truth is, more than 100,000 civilians, men, women, and kids, the U.S. murdered in Hiroshima. Truman lied to the nation about U.S. war in Korea, saying we were fighting for democracy, but South Korea, on whose side the U.S. was fighting, South Korea was a military dictatorship. More than 50,000 Americans died in the Korean War, and perhaps 2 million Koreans. U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower lied about U.S. spy flights over the Soviet Union even after one flyer on such a mission was shot down. Eisenhower lied to the nation and the world about the U.S. involvement in the coup that overthrew a democratic government in Guatemala. And that coup brought on many military juntas that killed tens of thousands of people in Guatemala. Eisenhower lied to the nation about the U.S. helping to overthrow a government in Iran. Why? Because that government in Iran opposed multinational oil corporations. Follow the money. The United States put the Shah of Iran back on the throne. His secret police tortured and executed thousands of people in Iran. U.S. President John F. Kennedy lied to the nation about U.S. involvement in the 1961 failed invasion of Cuba, telling a press conference, "I can assure you that the United States has no intention of using force to overthrow the Castro regime." Lies, lies, lies by Democrat and Republican presidents. U.S. President Kennedy's, Johnson, Nixon, all lied to the nation about what was happening in Vietnam. Kennedy repeatedly claimed that U.S. flyers were not involved in the bombing of Vietnam, even though he sent 2 helicopter companies there as early as 1962, with the U.S. military dropping napalm shortly thereafter. Johnson and Nixon both lied when they claimed only military targets were bombed. Reporters knew the greatest number of deaths were among civilians, moms, dads, grandparents, kids. And Nixon lied to the nation about the secret bombing of Cambodia. U.S. President Reagan lied to the nation about his hidden and illegal support of the Contras in Nicaragua. He lied about the importance of Grenada in order to justify the 1983 invasion of that little island. U.S. President Bush lied about the reasons for invading Panama in 1989, saying it was to stop the drug trade. But, in fact, the United States allowed the drug trade to flourish there. Bush also lied to the nation about his real interest in the Persian Gulf. He pretended to be anguished about the fate of Kuwait, while he was actually more concerned about increasing U.S. power in Saudi Arabia and controlling the region's oil deposits. Follow the damn money. Clinton lied to the nation about the need to bomb a nerve gas plant in Sudan, in Africa. His administration could produce no evidence that the plant was anything but what the Sudanese government said it was, a plant that produced medicines for the Sudanese people. Clinton signed the crime bill to build more prisons, to execute more people on the lie that this would lower crime. Clinton approved the attack on the Waco, Texas compound, which led to the deaths of 81 people, arguing falsely that it was the only choice he had. A lie. Clinton refused to join the international ban on landmines. He refused to authorize a strong world court on the false grounds that the United States would be in jeopardy. The landmines that he refused to join in an international ban, these landmines in many countries still cripple and kill many people. Clinton continued the embargo on Iraq, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Iraqi children, with the bloody lie that the embargo punishes Saddam Hussein. Clinton insisted that the $250 billion a year for the war machine when he was president was needed. A filthy, damn, bloody lie, when the money actually was desperately needed for health, education, child care. Lies, lies, lies by U.S. presidents, both Democrat and Republican. Some reasons many teenage girls get pregnant. Some girls know little or nothing about sex, about birth control. Some girls and their boyfriends have sex when they're both boozing, and that they do not think much about getting pregnant. Some girls are rebelling against their parents' authority. They want to punish their parents for being strict. How? By the girl getting pregnant deliberately. Some girls want to have their boyfriend's baby to please him or to hang on to him, which often does not work because some boyfriends run the other way when they find out their girlfriend is pregnant. Some girls' boyfriends want to be fathers to prove they are men, especially if they are closeted gay or bisexual. If parents have divorced or a parent has died, the girl may feel having a baby will fill her heart's empty hole. And some girls think having a baby will show they can produce something alive, something that will love them, someone whom they can love. Why do many men hate and fear homosexuality? Hatred for sex and romance between males is drilled into many boys from early childhood. Many 10 or 12 or 14-year-old boys would rather be called liar, fool, thief, stupid, lazy, son of a bitch, than be called fag or hoto. Why do many men hate and fear homosexuality? Sadly, many men are afraid to admit their attraction to men, especially if they also are strongly attracted to their wives and girlfriends and love them deeply. They fear losing sex and romance with the women they love if those women find out their attraction also for men. Why do many men hate and fear homosexuality? Some men suffered abuse as kids from men who forced sex upon them when they did not want it. Some men as adults suffered pestering and pressure for sex from men who refused to take no for an answer. Why do many men hate and fear homosexuality? Some straight men are jealous of gays and bisexuals' easier access to sex partners because many men were taught you're more of a man if you are a stud. Sadly, many women were taught they are sluts or less of a woman if they have sex with many men. The number one cause of death in New Mexico for youth is guns. Most deaths by guns in the United States are suicides. I hate guns. I've never owned a gun, and I never plan to. Why spend hundreds of dollars on mattresses and springs to sleep on? A huge ripoff. My bed has had no mattress, no springs for many years. My bed is 2-inch thick wood boards, and on top of the wood boards, I have folded sleeping bags and blankets to sleep on. Firm, very comfortable. I would not trade my bed for the most expensive mattress and springs in this city. And many people suffer back pain partly because their beds are not firm, often lumpy. Most stuff advertised is a ripoff to grab our money. Many times we can find other ways to do something, even better, or at least as good as the expensive stuff advertised. Why be conned? Why be duped to buy expensive crap we do not need, and then complain and worry about the bills? A woman in the Netherlands, ever since She was 18. She had suffered from bronchitis, sinus infection, chronic anemia, and after trying urine therapy, drinking her piss, she felt much better. The laboratory technicians were astonished at the sudden rise in the hemoglobin percentage of her blood, which had increased to normal level. And later, this woman stopped using urine therapy until she discovered she had a tumor in her breast, which was likely to become cancerous. Her choices from doctors were chemical medication, probably a breast amputation. But this woman from the Netherlands wanted to prevent this at all costs. She started to drink her own urine regularly. At one point, she checked and she discovered that the tumor in her breast was gone. She also used urine to heal wounds. She treated somebody with third-degree burns with urine therapy. Practically no scars remained, rubbing the urine on the burn. She successfully applied urine compresses when her children had scrapes or were bitten by insects. She used to be a nurse. She knew quite a bit about medicine. She worked in the operation room. She had seen conventional medicine fail many times, which made it easier for her to work with urine therapy. In India, she worked with natural medicine. Whenever she heard about a therapy that helped, she jumped on board. But she said, piss therapy, urine therapy, beats them all. Nothing is better than urine therapy. Strong testimony from a woman in the Netherlands. I've drunk my own piss every day since November 10th, 1999, over 23 years. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stop me if you want to talk when you see me walking on the street or wherever. To your health, my fresh piss. Good night.
Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow on by. Sing songs of love, let the music get you high, and when it's said and done, you'll know the sun will shine on. And when it's said and done, you'll know the sun